Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Yeah, I hope you're all doing good. Today's video, bit of a different one. It's a bit strange just talking to the camera like this and talking about something that I've done. Usually I'm obviously doing models or the gym vlog, etc. or the Z900 content. As you've seen by the thumbnail, this week, well, today's video is about the Elvis movie and the outcome of it and how it got me to buy my first Elvis vinyl, 12-inch coloured vinyl, white coloured vinyl, like a marble colour, which I'll show you later in the video. So yeah, that's what this week's video is going to be about, guys, which is a bit strange because I'm just obviously talking to you on the camera, but I'm trying to get used to it. I've left it, I've not opened it. It was delivered 2 days ago, and I've left it for you guys to come along with me and open it for you live on this video. Right, so let's start with the Elvis movie. Elvis has been about all through my life, like all of us. I'm 44. He died just before I was born in 1977. It's been one of them where he's just been in the background, if that makes sense. And I've heard his music, like all of us, on movies or on the radio, wherever you're listening to. But I've just never looked into his lifestyle, his life, etc. We all know it was a tragic ending, what happened to him. But I've never really looked into what his background was, where he'd come from, how he got his sounds he got, and basically why he's the king of rock and roll, king of music, I think, which I'll come into further down in the video. Yeah, so basically last week it all started. It was my birthday, as you might have already seen if you watched the F40 build. I'll let you know that on that video. If you've not seen it, guys, go back and watch it. Basically, me and my wife, we ain't been to the cinema for ages, so she treated me. We went for a breakfast and went to the cinema. We were supposed to be watching Top Gun Maverick, but story short, that wasn't available to watch in the morning when we went to the cinema. And guess what was on at 11 o'clock on the Friday, the 24th of June, my birthday? Yeah, you got it, it was Elvis. Now, I didn't hesitate, going to watch it anyway. I wanted to see it anyway. It's just that we was going to be watching Maverick last week on my birthday, but we decided we was going to go and watch Elvis. And I've never looked back once. Loved it. Let's just put it this way before I carry on. It's changed how I look at his music, changed how I look at him. I've even brought my first vinyl of an Elvis album. There's probably better ones out there, not that there's any bad ones. But this was the first one I've seen, and you know me, guys, I like coloured vinyl and limited edition stuff. Not that this is limited edition, I don't think, but it's like a coloured marble white vinyl. As soon as I seen it, I thought I'm going to get that, which again, I'm going to show you that later. Right, so first of all, we'll start off what happened. Basically, we went to the cinema, got our popcorn, Coke. Excited to see the film because of the reviews you've seen and the trailers to it. And Austin Butler plays him to a T. He's brilliant. And Tom Hanks as well. He plays Colonel Parker, I think he's called in it. Brilliant. Now, it starts off with the 60-year-old first song, which is 60 years old today, I think, or this month. That's All Right. And it starts off with that beat and that, and then you're hooked from there. I'm not going to give too much away of the film, just in case you've not seen it, because I don't want to spoil it, even though we know the outcome and or what's gone through his life. Everyone knows about Elvis, but I'm not going to give too much away about the film, because you've probably already seen bits and dabs out there over on YouTube or what other media you've seen it on. But it starts off with showing Elvis as a young lad and his background and the music he listened to or heard, which obviously influences who we know today as Elvis and the songs he's had, all his big hits. So that's like the first part of it, as he's getting his first record out. That's Alright, which was July the 19th, 1954. Now it starts off with a beat to that song, and you're just hooked from the beginning of the film. And it's a Baz Luhrmann film, as you might already gathered if you've looked into this Elvis film. It's brilliant, guys. Oh, I love it. It's changed me. Even my own wife said, well, you've changed this week with what I'm listening to. I mean, I've listened to the whole back catalogue of Elvis. I've got a few more albums to listen to, but again, we'll go into that in a sec. But anyway, back to the film. The first bit is about Elvis growing up, where he grown up, and like I've just said, the influences he had and what he was seeing, etc. And then basically get into the middle of the film. That obviously shows him with his stardom and what song he's getting out and who he was mixing about with. And then obviously the third part of the film, if you want to put it that way, it's all one film obviously, but it's 3 stages in my eyes. And then you've got the era when he was at Las Vegas. I'm trying not to give too much away. I know you might know the story already, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you've not seen the film. And I don't want to wreck anything for you, because it's nice to see when you don't know what's coming, if that makes sense. And as we all know, it's a tragic ending, what happens to him and how he's treated. And guys, it's an emotional roller coaster, the film is. You have your ups, your downs. Me and the missus both come out of it feeling emotionally drained, to be fair. And I'll be the first to say as well, it made me shed a tear or two. I tried to hide it. But yeah, it makes you cry. I mean, it's so, because you know it's real, obviously, and what happened. And you just want to shout out and say something to stop these things happening, but obviously that ain't going to be able to happen. I'm trying not to let too much away with the film, as I've just said. I don't want to spoil it for you. But the music in it, obviously it's Elvis's music, and the way it's been put against the film at the right places, the right time. And then when Priscilla splits up with him in, I think, 1973, and then you see the demise of, which I say demise of Elvis, the way he put on weight, etc., to the end of the film, which is what happened between 73 and 77 till his passing. But me personally, and I think you might agree, he never had a bad song, never. His voice, wow. I mean, there's some critics out there say there was a bad Elvis. Me personally, there's not been a bad Elvis. I've listened to the whole back catalogue near enough this week from last Monday on Apple Music, and you can find all his music on YouTube as well, guys, if you look. I've listened to most of his back catalogue already, and there ain't a bad song he's done. I mean, he's done genres from rock and roll, obviously what he's known for. You could say pop, gospel, folk, you name it, he's done it. And his voice, man, it never changes. It's just brilliant. He's got different tones, obviously, and everything, but man, it does something to me when I listen to his music. And I don't know where it's been all my life. Like, I know it's been there, but I've just not listened to it, and I feel crap because I've not listened to it, to be fair. And I'm a new Elvis fan now, guys, I really am. Hence why I brought this vinyl. And as for the thumbnail, you've seen why I brought an Elvis record. The film's started me off on being a fan, basically. I knew it was going to be a good film, and I think, mark my words, by next year at the Oscars, it's going to win some Oscars. Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, they're going to win awards, should I say, not rewards. Well, will be rewarded, but they're going to get something out of this, guys, and you're going to see this Austin Butler in many more films. I think this is the start of his career, obviously, which he wouldn't need me to tell him that, no one does, but he plays him to a T, spot on. I mean, he even knew, he looks like him, and apparently, well, he sings the actual songs himself. He's a singer. He sounds just like him, guys. I think I've looked on YouTube, because I've been looking all week about it. I'm a bit obsessed, I think, since I've watched the movie. Apparently he sang all the first songs, like up to halfway through the film, and then as you get to the end, as he's near the end of his life. I think they mixed a bit of Elvis in with Austin Butler's when he was singing. But yeah, it's a brilliant film. A little spoiler maybe, but near the end, or at the end, when he sings Unchained Melody at the piano, and he can't hardly move about mobile because obviously the state is in. That makes you go, guys, it does. Makes you go. But the film is brilliant. I loved it. It's made me be a fan. I've obviously listened to all the back catalogue through it, which has took me from Monday to now. I've got a few more albums to listen to. But because of the work I do, working, delivering parcels, I can put my headphones in and just listen to it, and basically listen to 9 or 10 hours a day of the back catalogue of Elvis Presley. All his albums, like from all his movies he's done. I mean, his movies, guys, he's done over 30 movies. I mean, between 1960 and 69, he was doing 3 albums a year. It would be around February, June, October, and plus the movies. And all that was going on between 60 and 69. And that's when he come back on the scene then. With the 68 comeback, as we all know, if you're an Elvis fan, wearing all the black leathers, which that's in the film as well, which you'll see if you watch it. It's brilliant. It is really good. And then obviously from 69 onwards, he was at LA and Las Vegas on the Strip at the International Hotel, which again, that's in the movie as well. You probably already know this if you're an Elvis fan. Colonel Tom Parker, who's manager to Elvis. Oh, Tom Hanks plays him good. It makes you hate him for what he's doing and how he treats him. Takes all his money basically, and he basically traps him at this international hotel on the Las Vegas Strip, which obviously it's made him who he was for Vegas now. But he did want to go all around the world. Again, I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to wreck the film for you. He did want to go all around the world, but Tom Hanks, who plays Colonel Tom Parker, he basically gets him in an agreement, contract. He's there for the rest of his life, basically, which is what we all know now in real life, is why he didn't tour all around the world. And he was stuck at Vegas basically till his last days. And I think that's why it shows in the film, in real life, why he put weight on. He just, as if he give up after Priscilla left him, and who knows, perhaps that's why he got to where what happened to him at the end of his life. But I don't want to go into that because I'm really scared of talking about this, because I know there's a lot of fans out there, and I don't want to say the wrong things really, because I'm a new fan. But from what I've seen, he was a good guy, and all the stuff I've listened to this week, which I never knew how he used his personality. Obviously, I don't think anyone does, apart from the lucky people who met him when he was alive. But like, there's an album what I watched and listened to on Apple. That's the way it is. Basically, it's a deluxe edition. If you've got Apple Music, or you can find it on YouTube if you look, guys, find this album. And if you look at the deluxe edition, you've got different little segments of like dinner parties he's done at Vegas, or different shows he's done. And then after every song, it shows the little banter he had with the crowd, which I never even knew what sort of entertainer, like that sort of entertainer he was. Obviously, people would who was a bigger fan and they've maybe seen him back in the day. But it was funny. Between every song, he'd have a little banter with either the musicians or the crowd. And this album, what I've listened to, it's 8 hours long, because there's all different snippets of his concerts he's done. So check that out, guys. I think if you're a fan, or you're an upcoming fan, you would like that, and you'd see what Elvis is in a way all about on his shows. I enjoyed it. 8 hours, it took me about a day and a half to listen to that constantly, one day, and then the next day, and then I'd listen to it all, and I'd listen to it again, to be fair. And some of the stuff he says, you can see what sort of character he was in his personality, or what he was putting across anyway. So yeah, it's a good listen, that is, guys, if you want to listen to that. But yeah, I hope I ain't rabbled on about the movie, and I hope you've stuck with me and I've got through that. I mean, it's just all swirling around my head at the minute, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you've not seen the movie. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. I know we all know what happens to him and where he starts, middle and end, but the movie does elaborate more, like I said at the beginning of this video, what he's seen as a child and what he went through. And then as he was getting his first contract deal, the passing of his mum, that made him react. His first song, how massive it was when he performed it on stage, and he's nervous, but then once he gets going, it's the Elvis who we know. And the way the women used to throw him at it sounded like they was being murdered, to be fair. The way they acted, it must be mad times. And you got to remember, guys, this was the mid-50s, and then you had the apartheid stuff and all that, and then you was getting Martin Luther King, I think he gets killed. He doesn't show this, but it happens. And you got JFK, all that was going on. Mad times. And this film brings all that into it, because obviously it was the era when Elvis was growing up, and like I've said, he gets his first deal, music deal, and just goes through his life, what he's going through at that time, if that makes sense. And I love the movie. I'll give it a 10 stars or whatever, 100 stars out of 100 stars. It's a brilliant movie, guys. If you're even thinking about being an Elvis fan, if you can think, if that makes sense, if you're intrigued what the film's about, go and watch it. You would never regret it, unless you're not an Elvis fan, which is obviously people out there who are not. But just open your mind, guys, watch it and see how it makes you feel. I mean, since I've watched it, I'm a fan, big Elvis fan. I'd love this to get out and about so everyone can see this video I'm doing. I'm not doing it because I'm doing it because I want to just tell you, like I've said in my bio, what I get up to. And obviously this is just one of the things I've got up to, me and the missus, when we went and watched it at the cinema for my birthday. And plus I want to show you this vinyl that I've brought now, basically from watching the movie. Because if I hadn't watched the movie, I probably still wouldn't be as more of an Elvis fan than I already was, which I wasn't really an Elvis fan. I liked his music, but I never knew the backstory to him, if that makes sense. I think I know more now about him from watching that movie, and obviously listening to his back catalogue for the last week and what he's all about. I mean, as I've said earlier on, anything he does, anything he sings, it's just brilliant, guys. I mean, his voice, wow. And I've heard a few clips on YouTube saying that it's as if he's singing to you. I understand that, but I think it's as well, it's just something about how he sings, and whatever he sings, it gets you there, man. I mean, I won't lie to you, some of the songs I've listened to, they make you fill up, especially if you get that into it, if you've got earpods or whatever, and you just don't think of nothing else and just listen to the music. Wow. I think I'm going to leave it there for the Elvis film review, if you can call it review. I know there's better reviews out there, guys, than me on YouTube, but I'm just doing my thing, hopefully enjoying it. And now what we're going to do is open this vinyl, which I've saved for you guys. I've had it here 2 days. I've been dying to open it, to be fair, but I want to open it with you guys. And yeah, I want to imagine what your reaction's going to be when you've seen it. You've probably already seen the album. It's not a new album. It's just, it was the first thing what come to light when I was looking on the internet, and it just flashed up. As I was looking on my phone, I thought, I want that. And this is going to be the first start of many. And everyone I get, guys, I will bring it onto my channel and show you what I've got, basically what I've brought. Yeah, I really want to start from scratch from his first album and get his whole back catalogue, to be fair. And then obviously have that in my collection, because I love every bit of music I've listened to in the last week, out of his back catalogue. There ain't a bad song he sang it, even down to he's got an album, a Christian album. I'm Christian, obviously, but by saying that, you'd think if it was like something out of his, what words I'm looking for? I can't say norm, because he wasn't the norm. He was the king of rock and roll, pop, to me, king of music. But you know, if he does something out of the ordinary, like if he was singing gospel stuff and all that stuff, again, that's back in his early days. When you watch the movie, you'll understand where that comes from, the gospel side of him. Still good. Whatever he sang and whatever I've listened to, I loved it. I mean, I'm that much of a fan, guys. I brought this record, I've listened to the back catalogue all week, and now when I've done this video and edited it for you, which you'll be watching now, obviously, I'm going to rent. There was one album I've listened to. I think it was on that. That's the way it is. That's the way it was. I've forgotten now. My mind's baffled. I mentioned it earlier in the video, but basically there's a video of that. From what I've listened to, there's a video of that, and you can rent it or buy it off. You can buy it off YouTube. Actually, you can rent it or buy it off YouTube. Have a look, guys. Check it out. Hey guys, if you're watching this video, obviously the video you've just been watching is way too long for one day's content. So the next part will be tomorrow, the day after today, whatever day that will be. If you don't want to miss out, guys, subscribe, press the bell notification so you don't miss the next video and upcoming videos on the channel. Subscribe, like, share, comment. See you in a bit.